if you could first introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Mick Pacey. I'm the owner of Export 56.
Could you tell us a little bit about the company?
Yeah, we're an independent Porsche specialist. I set the business up around about 20 years ago now, mainly dealing with pre-73 Porsches. So that's restoration, racing, sales, purchase. We've done a lot of work for Porsche Great Britain. We run several race Porsches as well.
What made you start working on this?
Gosh, that's a good question. I literally grew up in Luton and walked past a garage one day and saw a green Porsche in the window when I was 10. Never seen one before, fell in love with it and thought I must have one of those cars. And I've since then bought most probably about 350 of them. So, but yeah, I fell in love with the Porsche brand from a young age, and I've had lots of cars, Astons, Ferraris, but I could, my heart was always in air-cooled stuff. And I know we're standing next to a VW panel van, but a connection with Porsche, and through my time working with Porsche Great Britain, I used to run a parts delivery service from Isleworth to Stuttgart once a month, and they used to use a van like this to go and collect parts. And so we run one or two of these buses as well as part of the fleet.
Why do you think people are so interested in classic cars?
Oh, again, I think they're just such an emotional kind of lifestyle purchase. I think like nothing else, there's just something quite quaint about most of these cars. I think the market's incredibly strong, and I think just generally, I suppose a life when things seemed a little bit easier, these cars were a lot simpler, and they're becoming rarer and rarer. And I think there's something quite nice about having no technology in something where you sit behind the wheel, and these certainly don't have much technology when you sit behind the wheel. So they're great to drive, they're enjoyable, they're fun, and they're beautiful to look at as well.
Do you think they'll still have a place in the future?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I think there's a history, there's a world that loves this stuff, and it isn't just us in the UK or the Germans or Italians or the Americans. There's a big world out there that likes this old stuff, and there wasn't that much of it built in reality. And and I think the market's always going to remain strong, regardless of where the world goes with fueling and technology and power. I think for these fuel cars, there will always be a place for them, absolutely.
It's probably a silly question. What's your favourite classic car?
Oh, I wish you hadn't have asked me that question. I have to say a Porsche. Yeah, it's got to be I love early Porsche race cars, and I have to say a 917 is most probably for me one of the most beautiful cars produced, and I've had the privilege to go in one or two of them, and I should have bought one when they were a couple of million quid, but now they're sort of 15, 20 to 25 million. I think it's a bit out of my price range, but yeah, it's got to be a 917 Porsche.